Good evening, everybody, and welcome. My name is Ioma, and I'm the General Manager of Poetry Ireland, and you're all really, really welcome here to the third night and the final night of this year's introduction series. And a big thanks to all the gang here at the Workman's Club. We're absolutely delighted to be in partnership with them this year and to be part of the International Literary Festival Dublin. And a huge thanks to Vinny and to all the gang here, James and Carl, who got us the space here tonight as well. So Poetry Ireland Introduction Series was founded by poet Theo Dorgan in 1989, and 26 years on, it's still an annual event in the PI calendar. It's an exciting opportunity for talented, emerging poets working towards a first collection or who are about to get published to showcase their work. Many well-known poets have come through this series. Some include Nessa O'Mahony, Alan Jude Moore, Pat Boran, and more recently, to name but a few, Doireann Ní Ghríofa, Caoilinn Hughes, and Andrew Jameson. The series is twofold. For the first half, the poets participate in 2 workshops which focus on form and craft, and which have been led by Alan Jude Moore for the past few years. And for the past 2 years, we've invited back Theo Dorgan to share in a workshop setting his vast experience on the art of giving a public reading. Speaking your poetry not only links in with our oral literary tradition, it is also vital for the poet to hear how the poem sounds and scans, how the lines rise and fall to make their meaning. It's really important that the poets feel supported by this phase of the programme. We feel this type of mentoring is critical in the professional development aspect of the work we do in Poetry Ireland. The second half of this series is the live reading, speaking and public performance of the work. Last year we added some extras to it by inviting and programming great new musical acts, and this year we've decided to do the same, and we've been really lucky in that we are able to program some really great new musical acts. So tonight we'll celebrate this, the final night of the series, and we are going to have read with us tonight poets Stephen Connolly, Rosamund Taylor, James Conor Patterson, Bogusia Wardein and Stephen Sexton, and we'll hear music from Junior Brother.
I'm just going to read, I think, 6 poems now, with the first, maybe starting something off. A glass of vinegar. A glass of vinegar in my hand has warmed a few words of Latin from a cold classroom far below my frontal lobe. I wonder if tang might stem from tangere, if touch and taste were linked by sound, or if the words themselves had touched like lovers in a daze and stuck. My tongue clove to my jaw when meeting your eyes ticking over some page to misread casual for causal. I wonder now how God appeared, sacred and scared, play around on my tongue.
One that I often have at readings because I feel like people tend to enjoy it and it's fairly uncontroversial. The 2 towns in it, Cooper and Kirkcaldy, are in Scotland, between Edinburgh and Dundee. They're in Fife. So this is called Between Cooper and Kirkcaldy. The fox runs and looks black through the white field, and the snow falls still, falls and falls. The fox looks black in the white field, and my red coat is redder than ever before. It is damp with snow, with dots and freckles of melting snow. Its patterns are fragile on the red coat, and they melt into the weave. The snow blooms on the tree branches, blooms heavy on the tree branches, like almond blossom. And I feel open in my red coat, open like a damp mouth, open like a blossom to a bee, open like the white field opens to let the fox be black.
I'm going to read 4 poems for you tonight. Hopefully I can get through just on the 10-minute mark. The first poem I'm going to read for you was inspired by an article I read some time back, which was a retrospective of the Argentinian Civil War in the 1970s and 80s, and about the 30,000 victims of that conflict who were disappeared, most of whom are still unaccounted for. And it got me to thinking about the victims of the Troubles closer to home, who were disappeared in a similar fashion. And it's called just that, they disappeared. 1. Even now, I find it difficult to imagine being a campesino, dicing sweet potato over the kitchen sink, my hands calloused from years of raising sugarcane and lemon. What could possibly be to such a life? Argentina is tending more important matters now. I run guns through the Monteros for Santuco. In January, shoot down a transport plane and kill 13. I don't feel sorry. Perón is not in power, so civility can rise again in the green-cut mountains of Tucumán, like Christ removing Lazarus's shroud. The sun shimmering off La Angostura, the blue and white of the flag in cloudless sky. 2. And with these things, when they come, they wrap me like a present. Sometime, close to dawn, with an oil rag in my mouth and a blood-stained pillowcase wrapped around my head, I'm thrown from a helicopter into the South Atlantic and sent to greet the fish. The last thing I hear is traitor or its equivalent. I have no frame of reference. The ocean current carries me over thousands of miles, and when I'm disturbed again, I'm something else entirely. A rumor in the sand, perhaps, or a ghost without pasture. Someone who might be a shell or a fossil, foundations on an unfinished house, or 4 converged headlamps on a quiet country road.
Autobiography. I'm a lioness protecting imaginary offspring. I'm folded cardboard boxes under my bed and a caravan my late granny gave me last night. I am a barricade in Baghdad, and you won't regret your decision in a letter of recommendation. I'm the grayness of the walls and the most beautiful woman in a prayer hall filled with monks. I'm 2 PhDs earned in my 20s, which I don't have. I'm 20 years ahead of time, and I'm not looking that old. I'm the best view in town from a masterclasses lobby where I learned I shouldn't be there. I am not what you are thinking. I'm suspected pneumonia and bruises from banging my head against front doors. I'm my own adoption papers found in my parents' desk.
I'm going to start with a poem that is based on a spurious detail I read somewhere online, I expect, that back in the days of the Roman Senate, one had a responsibility as a citizen to bring to the Senate any dreams that they had that they couldn't explain in case they were harboring omens for the future of the Senate. I wondered, there are many things I don't understand, and maybe what I'd be ashamed of hidden in those. Anyway, this is called On Betrayal. I'm thinking of when prophecies shone like promises about to be broken, when it might be treason not to bring to the Senate your unsolved dreams as little Isaacs to the mountain, thinking men turning over in the light the counterfeit coins of sleeping. I would tell them in my dream the neighbor's daughter said she hadn't seen it when she had, moving on the crest of the hill in its short patterns, making the village tremble behind each bolted, double-bolted door. At 4, 3, 200 yards, you could see it, with the sheen of crude oil, luster that means to me a kind of reflection, but closer than that, it was unknowable, like fencing off a square foot of night. I tell them I think it was a panther, but I've never seen one look back down the trough of the hill, its stare unmaking my bed, weakening the walls, lengthening night. Morning brought the neighbour's daughter, and what she admitted in the kitchen spilt milk, and brought the panther down from its hilltop in careful, vicious footsteps. We shrank behind the countertops, but it came in, opening her side like a curtain, and I was up the stairs and out the window, and I say, it is my dream, and she is well, twice. I ask what it means when even in my dream I am a coward.
This song's called Castle Bridge, and it's about being from the country. And before I play it, I'd like to say thanks very much to Poetry Ireland and Naoma for having me here tonight. It's a pleasure to play here. So it's called Castle Bridge. Thanks. Have you ever been to Castle Bridge? Have you ever drank dry water Saturday night? Sunday morning lit like a tabernacle, dressed like an altar, sewing things even though they're separated, writing songs even though I fucking hate it. And one more thing before the chorus, one of these days I will pay for this. Packet of bags inside my pocket, out my door like a train on a sprocket, run like a turtle in a windmill. That's where I got the inspiration for this song. Victory signals to the people. Here's the church now, where's the steeple? Buckled up, knight on his horseback, flying, crying at the sound of his animal dying. Sex is a metaphor for religion. Cows in this town fly with the pigeons. Horse tracks crack in the sun by 7, 8 o'clock. I'm in heaven. Here's a gypsy with the shoe, wagging a horse and a squire lad. Isn't it a watch them laugh and pick my feet to have my coat walk down the street. Packet of facts inside my pocket, out my door like a chain and a sprocket, run like a turtle in a windmill. That's where he got the inspiration for his song. Victory signals to the people. Here's that church now, where's the steeple? Buckled up, knight on his horseback, flying, crying at the sound of his animal dying. Change the weather and pick the view, building boats from broken pews, west from where their gardens grew. Every grave my neighbor knew, lost another neighbor too. That take us feet from Labour Row. Would you like to see his shoe? No, thank you. Thanks very much.